Demure enough for church-going, racy enough for the drag strip, modish enough for the country club. That is an actual, real-life internal Ford quote from way back in 1963, before the Mustang even hit the streets. Planners weren't just building a car, They were building a cultural chameleon, something specifically designed to fit literally any lifestyle. 60 years. That's how long the ultimate American pony car has been defining the roads. Today, we're diving into this explainer on the evolution of the Ford Mustang, from 1964 all the way to today. We're going to see exactly how one iconic model adapted to shifting cultural landscapes, wild oil crises, and massive technological leaps, all without ever losing its fundamental soul. It's honestly a masterclass in survival and reinvention. Here's our roadmap for today. First, the birth of the pony car. Then we'll move from muscle to the oil crisis. Look at the rebirth with the Fox body, its retro revival to global status. Compare classic soul to modern precision, and wrap up with 60 years of Mustang. Let's jump right in. Section 1. Birth of the pony car, igniting a phenomenon. So when Ford debuted the Mustang at the April 1964 World's Fair, they absolutely nailed the demographic. Baby boomers were coming of age, and they desperately wanted sporty, affordable cars. The result? A staggering 22,000 orders on day one alone. Dealerships were so swamped by this Mustang mania, the buyers were literally sleeping in the car so they wouldn't get sold before their checks cleared. By the end of that first year, they sold over 400,000. It wasn't just the product launch, guys. It was an absolute frenzy. Very few nameplates survive without taking a break. But the Mustang, it forged a true hero's journey through continuous production. From the classic first generation, through the famous Fox body of the 80s, the SN95 in the 90s, that incredible 2005 retro revival, right up to the global powerhouse it is today, it is truly one iconic model across generations. Moving on to Section 2, Muscle to the Oil Crisis, the Dark Night of the Soul. As the 60s bled into the 70s, Mustangs had really bulked up to fit these massive engines for the drag strip. But then, bam, the 1973 oil crisis hit. Gas lines stretched for blocks, and the era of the massive V8 was just abruptly over. Ford was forced to make a highly controversial, totally existential pivot. They temporarily dropped the V8 entirely and built the much smaller, Pinto-based Mustang II. Now, purists definitely decried the lack of a V8, which thankfully did return shortly after, but looking at these numbers tells the real story. The Mustang II sold over 1.1 million units in just 5 years. By adapting so rapidly to the harsh economic realities of the 1970s, this smaller, lighter car is the exact reason the legendary nameplate didn't go extinct. All right, Section 3, Rebirth, the Fox body. After the compromises of the 70s, the 1980s sparked this massive performance renaissance. Ford shifted to the lighter Fox platform and finally brought back a serious 5.0-liter V8 engine. It was highly versatile, relatively inexpensive, and possessed massive aftermarket support. It became deeply, deeply beloved by tuners, street racers, and drag racers, officially reviving that aggressive spirit of the pony car. Which brings us to Section 4, Retro Revival to Global. So after modernizing through the 90s with the SN95 platform, Ford struck absolute gold in 2005 with a strong retro design inspired directly by the late 60s fastbacks. But, the journey wasn't without speed bumps. Just look at this contrast. The towering 1966 peak was over 600,000 units, but then look at the 2009 Great Recession low of just over 66,000. It was a crushing economic blow to the entire industry, yet the Mustang's resilience still allowed it to narrowly outsell arch-rivals like the Camaro during that incredibly brutal period. To keep the excitement alive through all these decades, Ford continually relied on pulse-pounding special editions. We're talking the Shelby GT350s and 500s, the Boss 302, the Mach 1, the Bullet, and the legendary Terminator Cobra. Track competition and specialized tuning have literally always been the lifeblood pushing this icon forward, giving enthusiasts a reason to just keep coming back. Okay, Section 5, Classic Soul, Modern Precision. If you compare the driving experiences across the decades, it is night and day. The classic 60s car gave you an unfiltered, raw, and highly demanding mechanical connection to the road with very minimal safety nets. It truly relied on your skill as a driver. But the modern Mustang, It's a total marvel of engineering, featuring fully independent rear suspension, Magneride control, digital track apps. It's the exact same rebellious spirit, just executed with extreme modern precision. And finally, Section 6, 60 Years of Mustang. This brings us to a pretty monumental triumph today. The Mustang has effectively outlived historic competitors like the Camaro and Challenger to stand completely alone in its class. For 60 years, it has been an absolute labor of love for enthusiasts globally, a milestone Ford honors with highly serialized, limited edition anniversary packages that give a brilliant nod all the way back to its 1965 roots. From its unprecedented debut at the World's Fair to today's ferocious 500-horsepower dark horse, the Mustang survives because it is a genuine cultural phenomenon. Whether you're a tuner, a drag racer, a collector, or just someone wanting a fun weekend cruiser, the Mustang adapts to be exactly what you need it to be. Truly, one iconic model across generations. But, that leaves us with a massive question for the future. As the global automotive industry shifts rapidly toward electrification, can the Mustang's roaring V8 souls survive its next great evolution? Ford is keeping the internal combustion V8 alive for now, but it definitely leaves us pondering. What will the next 60 years look like for the most enduring muscle car in history? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, keep exploring, and I'll see you on the next one.